Mindful Monday at the intersection of mindfulness and Advent. We are at week 2 of Advent, and the way that God names his son in many places is Emmanuel, which is God with us. Jesus is the image that God wants us to see in order to know who he is and his character. And there's a poem that I came across through social media, through a YouTube link that I'll put in the comments, and I can't shake it because it, to me, reflects the heart of God with us, which we are coming to as Christmas gets closer and closer. So we've done so many things. If you followed along, we've got metaphors to use, we've got breath practices, we have thought-stopping techniques. So go ahead and call from your little treasure trove of personal practices that you do to kind of shift and shake the wiggles out, to set aside in that little wrap of blanket your thoughts and feelings and needs and to-do list that waits. And before I read the poem, I'd like for us to settle rather than the other way around. So sit here with me for a few minutes and just allow yourself some space to be still. Even in the middle of a COVID-shaped Christmas season, I myself feel rushed somehow, which is why our Mindful Monday at 12 is now at 12:14. So, however you come in the middle of this Christmas climate, use your settling practices to still your inner being. As you find your 3-part breath, noticing that you can fill your belly and flare your rib cage and flood open your collarbones so your shoulders drop and your shoulder blades slide onto the backside of your heart. See if you can feel that happening in your mind's eye as you take your prayer breaths. Notice if your spine is long. Notice if your ears are dropped away, or your shoulders are dropped away from your ears. Notice if your crown reaches toward the sky. When your mind wanders, begin again. Start to realize that there is a inner being on which this tent of flesh rests. There's something you can't see, but it is, as the poem will reference, the human spark. The thing that makes us who we are. With your eyes downcast and your body still, receive this in the context of Emmanuel. Never alone, Never any breath alone. Never a thought or a quiver alone of any kind. Never a beat or pulse of love for any human soul alone. Alone is impossible. Alone is death, but even then, never alone. Alone would be to live without the womb of divine oxygen surrounding human spark and cell. There can be no alone. Not even for enemies. Not even for emptiness itself and its vast taunts and separation intent. There can be no alone. There is no space not filled with divine presence, nor the envelope of creator breath. Alone is an invention, a low-brow imagination built to shelter human shame, the weapon that tried to slay its maker. Yet even still, never alone. Take one more breath as the truth of how very close Emmanuel is sinks in. This envelope of creator breath. And when you're ready, return to the outside. Turn your attention back to the things that are calling you next, but take with you a sense of stillness and a sense of never alone. Thank you for joining me here. Have a lovely second week of Advent. Check the past episodes out on Mindful Monday on the YouTube channel. I'm going to link where I found this poem in the comments.